The left button, this is the right button, and this is the scroll wheel. To direct your cursor through this surface and hover around the question. If I press key S, a dialog box pops up. Many of us sitting for JAMB for the first time may not know the 8 keys introduced by JAMB and how to use them, and this can pose a great challenge trying to navigate through the options. Even if you know the answer to a question, if you don't choose the correct options, you'll be on the losing end, and it will be assumed that you don't know the answer to the question. In this video, I will not only show you the 8 keys introduced by JAMB, but I'll also show you how to use them, how to use the touchpad, how to use the mouse correctly, so your efforts of preparations wouldn't be in vain. So stay tuned until the end of today's video, as it promises to be helpful. My name is Nnamdi. I'm a first-class graduate of chemical engineering from the University of Uyo, and on this channel, my aim is to help you achieve academic excellence. Without wasting much time, let's get right into the business of the day. This video will be divided into 2 parts. First, I'll give proper description of these 8 keys and their functions, and I'll also go ahead to describe the mouse and the touchpad and show you how to use them correctly. The second part involves the practical use of these keys, the mouse and the touchpad, in your choice of options. I'll show you how these keys actually work when answering questions in your exam hall. For the purpose of this video, we shall be using the My School CBT app for the practice. Although there are other softwares for this same purpose, like Test Driller, Pass.ng, they are also good. But for the purpose of this video, we shall be using My School CBT app. Now, let me say this. It is not just enough that you watch me practically use these tools to answer questions. I advise that you practice them on your own. Learn how to use the 8 keys, learn how to use the mouse and the touchpad in choosing options. You can get any of the apps, either My School CBT app, Test Driller, or Pass.ng to practice. It will go a long way to boost your confidence in the exam hall, and you will not struggle trying to know or learn how to use these keys while in the exam hall. Now let's head over to the first part. JAMB has introduced 8 keys to help you choose options in the exam hall and submit. These 8 keys are key A, key B, key C, key D, key N, key P, key S, and key R. Now keys A, B, C, and D are just to help you pick the options directly from the keyboard. When you hover your cursor around the question, you can just tap on any of the keys A, B, C, or D, and then automatically it just selects the option for you. Key N is for next. That is when you want to go to the next question. But then you have to hover your cursor around the sections where you have the numbers to the questions, and then you just click on next. You just click on key N, and it takes you to the next question gradually like that until you're done for that subject. Similarly, key P is to help you go back to the previous question. All you have to do when you have your cursor around the sections where you have the numbers to the question is to press key P, and then it takes you to the previous question. You can also use the arrow keys to navigate through the questions, but then this happens when you would have clicked on a particular question using your mouse or the touchpad, and then you can just press the right arrow key to go to the left to the next question, or you press the left arrow key to go to the previous question. Key S is for submission. That is when you're done with your exam and then you're satisfied. You can just go ahead and press key X, and then a dialog box pops up asking you if you're very sure you want to submit. So you can just click yes or no, and then if you click yes, then the exam is over. But if you click no, you can still go back to the exam and then touch a few things you would be willing to touch. Now key R is to reverse your action if you tried submitting. So when you click on key X and you brings up the dialog box, and then you just realize that no, you shouldn't submit, you can just click on key R, and then it takes you back to the exam question. So that's all about the 8 keys. Now let's talk about the mouse. Basically, there are 2 types of mouse, the wired and the wireless mouse. But in your exam, you'll be offered the wired mouse. The mouse has about 8 parts, but for the purpose of this exam, we shall be concerned about 3 parts. The first part is the left button, the second part is the right button, and then finally we have the scroll wheel. You don't have to lift it up when you are using it. It has to rest on the mouse pad always, because it only functions when at rest on a smooth surface. Now let me show you these parts practically. So like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 types of mice, the wireless mouse and then the wired mouse. The wireless mouse has no cord around it, while the wired mouse has a cord connected to it. And this is the particular type of mouse you'll be using in the exam hall, that is the wired mouse. It has 3 parts. It has the left button, the right button, and then the scroll wheel. And this is the left button, this is the right button, and this is the scroll wheel. You can use the scroll wheel to scroll across the pages. And these are the 3 basic fingers used in the operation of the mouse: the index finger, the middle finger, and then the ring finger. Now let me show you how you can use these fingers properly in the operation of the mouse. First, you hold it like this. It is supposed to be held this way. So this index finger will rest on the left click, The middle finger rests on the scroll wheel, and then the ring finger rests on the right click. So it is held this way and then it's operated this way. If you want to scroll, and then if you want to operate on the left button, you use this way and go like this. If you want to operate on the right button, you use this. That is, you use the ring finger. So when you want to answer a question with the aid of your mouse, you just hover the cursor around the question and hover more specifically around the option you want to pick, and then you just left click and it goes. You just pick it up. So in that case, you've selected that particular option on which the cursor is resting. So basically in the choice of your options, you have to use the left click. That is this click. On the day of your exam, you may be offered a laptop computer, and so because of this, you may not be using the mouse. What you'll be using in that case is the touchpad. Just like the mouse, the touchpad has the left and the right button. And you can also scroll using two of your fingers simultaneously, or you can use the arrow keys. That is the up and down arrow keys. And also in the touchpad, the left button is used to select options to a question. Now let me show you the parts of this touchpad. So like I mentioned earlier, you may be offered a laptop computer. So in that case, you may not be needing the mouse. All you have to use is the touchpad, and this is the touchpad, and this is the left button, and this is the right button. So if you want to use the touchpad to answer your question, all you have to do is to direct the cursor through this surface and hover around the question, and more specifically around the option you want to choose. And then when your cursor rests on the option you want to choose, you can just left click. Just click on this button and it automatically picks that option for you. Now to the second part of this video. Let me head over to my computer and show you the interface and also show you how you can use these tools correctly to answer questions. First, I'll show you how the 8 keys are being used, how you can use the touchpad, and how you can use the mouse. So this is the interface, and this is what it will be looking like on the day of your exam. This is the area where you have the questions, and these are the areas where you have the numbers to the questions. First, I'm going to walk you through how to use the first 4 keys, that is the key A, B, C, and D. And then we move over to the other 4 of the keys. In using the first 4 keys, I already mentioned that it is used to select any option of your choice. So in case you want to pick an answer to this particular question, all you have to do is to use key A to pick option A. That is, if you want to pick option A, key B for option B, key C for option C. So assuming you want to pick A, for example, we just go ahead and click on key A, and then it picks it up for us. If you want to pick option B, you just go ahead and click key B, and then like that. And if you want to pick option C, you just go ahead to click key C. Now for the other set of keys, key N, like I mentioned earlier, is used to go over to the next question. For example, we are done with this question 1, and then we want to move over to question 2. All we have to do is to press key N. I just hit key N now, and that is the reason why it has moved from question 1 to question 2. So if I want to keep going that way, I keep pressing key N like that, and I keep going to the next questions. The other key is key P, and I told you previously that key P is used to move to the previous question. For example, if you had skipped a question and then you want to go back to that question, you can simply press key P and it takes you back to that question. Now let's try it. This is question 5. If we want to go to question 4, all I have to do is to press key P. I just press key P now, and that's the reason why it has taken me back to question 4. And if I keep pressing key P like that, I keep going backwards. Now, what if I'm done with the whole exam and I want to submit my work? All I have to do is to make use of the key S. If I press key S, a dialog box pops up, and I'm sorry you can't see that. So when it pops up, you see a yes or a no. If you want to go ahead and submit, you can click on the yes button. And if you want to reverse your action, you can go ahead and press the no button. And you'll be able to continue with the exam. Now the other key is the key R. Now for example, you had pressed the key S and the dialog box pops up and you want to reverse your action, you can do that with the use of key R. When you hit key R, it disappears and you'll be able to go back to your exam and complete whatever it is you have at hand. So with this, we've come to the end of today's video, and like I said earlier, it is not just enough that you had watched me use these keys. I advise you that you look out for ways to practice them yourself so it does not look really strange to you. on the day of your exam. Please, if you like this content, do me a favor, just give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel so it can encourage me to do more of content like this for you. Until next time, take care.